So apologies. In my last video, I was supposed to plug in the website. The website, which is, I just put the video shot by a local filmmaker called Ondivo, but the website is called dukanda.co.ke. It almost mirrors what you're used to in your ordinary e-commerce, like purchasing platforms and whatever. But then I think they've realized that the main dealers who are in Kenya are now selling imported stuff, and there's no space for the domestic cottage industry space. There's nothing. They are getting all their stuff. They are now even dealers or retailers directly. They're sourcing their products. But now these ones are they want to create a home for, I think, cottage industries. If you make your own stuff at home, if you do your crochet, if you do what, if you're a thrifter, if you're selling gadgets, like you can sell there on that website. That website again is dukanda.co.ke. Let's see. I mean, we were here promoting China Square. These days, I don't hear people talking about China Square. I don't know what happened. I think there was an over expectation and under delivery, because I think people are complaining that China Square is also equally expensive. So I think even the other people who have staff and you're tired of sometimes running around, being chased by Kanjo, paying a lot of licensing fees for rent or anything, the digital space exists for people like you. So such a website, if it's it can be convenient for you to just go there, open your store there, and then I think they'll work on a way of getting the traffic to the website so that you can transact, you can do business. Sometimes it's good to check out everywhere. It's good to spread your eggs everywhere so that you never know where you're going to get the most benefit, because if you put all your eggs in one basket, then you in one store, you can still have the store and you can still be selling online. I mean, that's a smart way to do, and not just I think the main websites that we have now, the Jumias and the whatever and the Gigis, they are now not really supporting cottage industries and local people. They are now importing themselves directly. So we are seeing, there's a tendency of any big entity or enterprise just wanting to, even after starting off very well, there's a tendency of them veering to the arc bending towards anti-competitive practices and wanting to be the big person and neglecting the small person. So these people, we are going to be profiling people who are, doing work for the small person. So anyway, I was talking about Faith Kipyegon. That was the topic for today. I always have to give an intro. Sorry if I take too much time on the intro. But Faith Kipyegon, I mean, she's a hero. I mean, I respect her. I respect her craft, man. I remember I posted on my WhatsApp status when, she broke the second record, and I'm like, this is a king. So I had like 10 people texting me, no, she's a queen. She's a queen. You made an error. I said, no, I'm serious. She's a king. In street slang, we call that king shit right there. What she did is amazing. So, I mean, the other women who call themselves king, and I've never heard you complaining. We have our very own King Kalala. It's so, yeah, she's in my eyes. I think that was kingship. So kudos, just positive vibes from me here. So, but mine is another observation. So when she was invited to State House, I was watching her child. Rigiji is the one who first of all, they were at the airport. They were met by Sakaja, which was odd to see Sakaja at the airport, because I'm wondering, what have you done in sports for you to even have the audacity to go and welcome her at the airport? The audacity of politicians wanting to hog the limelight. Sakaja is now the Kenyan Salt Bay. You saw how Salt Bay was was doing at the Qatar World Cup at the final, how he was handling the World Cup trophy. So Sakaja is our Salt Bay here. So he moves from being Dimples Bay to Salt Bay. What are you going to do to meet Kipyegon at the airport. You haven't built any. Have you built even just? Have you reclaimed one parcel of land? Have you built it? Have you rehabilitated any sporting facility? For you to go there, have you sponsored? Those are the things we should be asking. So for us to see you there, you are out of place, out of pocket. So she was met there, and then they went to State House. Rigiji was the first, to meet her at the end of the red carpet. And then they got out of the car, and then I was just watching the child. And then the child, he was just there with Rigiji, hey, what's up, hey, like that. But when she met President Ruto, the daughter, she was all out, man. It's almost like she had met Father Christmas. She was... I've never seen, like, the other day we were talking about, we talk about phenomenons over here. So these guys who always listen to Classic FM, the same 20 songs played on heavy rotation, those ones are suffering from a phenomenon called nostalgia schizophrenia. They only listen to soul and whatever, and they are stuck in the 90s. They don't understand that they are stuck there by design, because that was the freedom and the leeway and the latitude that Moi had given them at a time when, during the same period, they say it's almost like saying the Moi era was good because you got free school milk, but then you forget that it's the same period where our public health system collapsed and all the doctors emigrated to Botswana and other places, and in America, families were going through separation, trauma, families and friends are going to diaspora looking for greener pastures. By then it was prevalent, it was dominant. Nobody wants to remember that. You want to remember the good music. So that is that is the phenomenon. Nostalgia schizophrenia. Now there is another one we call hereditary psychophancy. So when I watched Faith Kipyegon's daughter and the way she was, you could tell that in their family, in their household, they only have good things to say about President Ruto. They like him, or they love him, or they adore him. And I saw that during the Uhuru era, when the psychophancy of the Mount Kenya region was at its peak. They had moved even from calling him the president. They had moved from calling him the leader. Now they were calling him Mudhamaki. Mudhamaki is like the kings of kings. If you don't know, translated from Kikuyu, is like the kings of kings. That's how they were revering him. And all of these is hereditary psychophancy passed on from the parents to the children. And because I told you, the first time I started criticizing Uhuru, the parents and the children, everyone else had isolated me because, hey, I was going against the grain. It was so embedded in the fabric, in their bone marrow. It was there, that level of psychophancy. So when I saw this kid, I could tell that, she was there. That was a prize to meet President Ruto. That was, I'm sure, even in her school now, she's untouchable just because of that photo op. Now, I have no problem with that. All I am saying is that if you see people loving you to that extent, it's your duty to just do something in return. So today I bumped into something. There's a long distance runner from Uganda called Stephen Kiprotich. Everyone is always giving me grief. Oh, Francis, you only complain. Where are the solutions? Anyway, it's weird. You're looking for solutions from strangers on the internet and not from the people you've elected. It's crazy, eh? You guys, you've been so mind-fucked by the system and by the media that you make people, other people, your enemies, non-stakeholders. I've never stolen your money. I've never done anything. The people you elect, you allow them, you clap for them, you listen to them spewing stale jokes like Senator Meadow in churches and in funerals. You clap for them. So now here is one of the solutions. Stephen Kiprotich, Yoweri Museveni, for all his other faults, I don't know what, cracking down on democracy, I don't know what, he has made a high performance center. I saw it today. This is, you just look at it. High performance center. You can see it's paved with a tarmac, and then it has a tartan track, and then it's just for the runners because everyone wants to clone what Kenya is doing. So if people love you like that, if you're the president, if you're the governor of that region, if that's the least you could do, that's the least, and it's so easy to execute that. But you guys, even the bare minimum, you cannot. You're given money. You're saying 478 million. Did you see the stadium in Embu that was launched the other day? And the Minister of Sports, with no honor or shame, can come and say, I have spent 478 million, and he's not in EACC. This is crazy, man. So if people love you to that extent, that's the least you could do. Just fix a facility that they will remember you in the long run.